Hi, this is Bryan Konietzko, co-creator, co-executive producer, and art director of Avatar.
Hi, I'm Tim Hedrick. I'm a writer on Avatar. I wrote this episode.
And this is Mike DiMartino. I'm the other co-creator and executive producer of Avatar. And so Tim is here joining us today. Tim has written such classic Avatar episodes such as The Deserter.
That was a classic.
Yes. The Swamp.
Another one. All the hits.
I believe the first episode where we arrived in Ba Sing Se.
That's right. After the
214. Yeah.
And then this gem.
Kind of, which actually is linked to 214 in the conspiracy theory.
Yeah, it's kind of the end of that storyline.
I was only 8 years old.
And we see more of the lovely Jet.
I feel like you can never get enough of Jet.
Until you do it, and then,
Yeah.
and then he's all done.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this was kind of an important episode to kind of wrap up the whole Jet storyline that we kind of started in season 1 and continued in Ba Sing Se in season 2.
And we see more of the Dai Li. I don't know if you guys hit on this, but the Dai Li were named after. They are the secret police of Sing Se. So that history of oppression lives on. And
Here's good. These drawings of Appa right there, done by another writer, John O'Brien.
my office mate.
Yes, so John became the official artist of Sokka's style.
I've been encouraging him to sell those at Comic-Con. I don't know if he's going to
I
do
think
it or
people
not.
would totally be into that.
I know I would bid on him.
I did the other Appa poster.
You mean the one that is...
The one that looks like Appa?
Yeah, although I did not write the Chinese. That was SLE. What's amazing is that John was able to tap into like 7 different children's styles.
Yeah, he does.
They're all like accurately, authentically a child's drawing, but like 7 different children.
That's exactly what it's like sharing an office with John. It's like with 7 different children.
So this was also we needed an episode where finally Zuko finds out that Aang is in the city and he's close. He's been trying to have this normal life, trying to accept settling down in Ba Sing Se, and then
Although he's pretty conflicted about it, and this sort of spurns him to.
Yeah, this begins the Zuko becoming a happy tea maker arc that just
Yes.
ends tragically for him.
yes.
My tea maker? Sorry, pal, but that's business for you, am I right? Mushy, if you stay.
And it gives you an inside look on the tea business, which I think is important for kids to know.
Senior assistant manager.
Franchise.
New apartment in the upper ring. The tea shop is yours.
Yeah, have you talked about Avatar franchising like this?
Creative freedom.
Opening some tea shops, maybe?
Mike and I are, we're looking into it.
Executive assistant.
Starbucks can't handle it all.
I always figured, was Pow reacting to the hot teapot that he just dropped in his hand?
I think it's a combination of he burned his hands and he was just upset that Iroh got taken away from him.
Not until this moment. Iroh's a pretty considerate guy, but that was a pretty inconsiderate way to hand a teapot to someone.
So I want to say this episode was directed by Lauren McMullen, another great director on our team of Avatar folks, and animation directed by director Kim of Moi Animation, Kim Sang-ji.
Yeah, this was great. It was really exciting to see the Ba Sing Se designs come to life because it's an awesome looking city.
Yeah, it definitely feels like a real place.
Yeah.
The concept of the rings really worked out well with like a different architectural style and sort of a different level of like a class system, realized in architecture. And that's based on Mike and Wong, our production manager.
Who is just this smiling.
Line producer? I'm sorry. Sorry, Mike. Yes, we based it. Mike is always happy even when she's telling you shows in trouble or
You're behind schedule.
behind schedule.
Deliver any bad news with a smile.
We love Mike. Mike and I worked with Mike in starting like 8 or well, for me, about 8 years ago. Mike, about 10 years ago. We've been working together on various shows around town.
We can't wait around to get permission for
And she's still happy somehow. So we had her do some acting reference in the video footage.
I love this moment too, where Aang freaks out. I think Kenji Ono, our storyboard artist, did some great drawings in the storyboard, and the animators took that and ran with it.
I think this moment just came out of the storyboard meeting. That what's funny is they blew a hole in the building, but they used the door still. We just had this idea that I think in the script she broke a pot.
I'm very disappointed.
Or just like a vase, but we were like, let's just have her blow half the house apart. And then when you see it in a subsequent episode, there's like scaffolding. They're trying to fix it up.
I did want to mention that next door to them in the house was a neighbor named Pong.
Yes.
That I put into many scripts, and Bossing say that just he never made it on.
Well, we did see him in the first episode where they were in Bossing.
Oh, that's right. They kind of talked to him very briefly.
Sokka talks to him, but
at one point, didn't he end up in the prison?
Yeah.
He was in the prison, and the Dai Li was tracking him. They grabbed him out of his house. He had a whole backstory.
Yeah. He was like a major character for a while, and then...
No offense, Tim, but I don't miss him.
Yeah. Well, I think I might be the only one that has a hankering for more Pong.
So the idea with this green fire, I'm not sure if we've touched on this, is that usually we just use, in the Earth Kingdom, we use these phosphorescent crystals for light source. They don't use fire that much. Sort of a prejudice against firebenders and whatnot. But we had this idea that, I don't know, there was some rare crystal that was maybe fused with some kind of gaseous substance, and it could burn. It's like a really long-lasting artificial log or something. And it has a green flame because of the gaseous releases.
But I imagine it being very fragrant as well.
It is. It's like
Evergreen
a
scent.
potpourri. Yeah, it's evergreen. It's lime mint.
I suggest you think about what it is that you want from your life and why. I want my
That's some classic uncle advice.
It's up to you.
So, Tim, when you write a script and then, often there's like a long gap before you see the final, product. Are you ever surprised at the end? You're like, I had no idea that was going to come out like that.
Yes, all the time. Almost always there's something in there that's... Usually there are always like some visual jokes that aren't in the script. Although this was in the script. Puts it on backwards. But, especially like battle scenes. You never really know how that blocking is going to work out. Right. And when you see it in the end... And this has a great fight scene in it. That all that stuff is always amazing to see for the first time.
I think I can help you.
There's our man.
Yeah, so this is the first time Katara has seen Jet since season 1, when he broke her heart, so to speak.
Tell it to some other girl, Jet.
They had a loving relationship.
Yeah, this is a woman scorned right here.
I don't want to fight you. I'm here to help.
But what I like about Jet's character is like he's always been kind of troubled, He had good intentions, but kind of went about the wrong way to
Jet's back.
solve problems, I guess.
Yeah, Jet has the kind of classic on the edge between good and evil. He means to fight the Fire Nation, but he goes too far, and it raises questions about, the difference between the freedom fighters and terrorists. And there's some really deep thematic stuff that goes on with Jet.
I was a troubled person, and I let my anger get out of control. But I don't even have the gang now. I've put all that behind me.
Jet was designed by Ryugi Hun, who's a great animator and designer we met at JM Animation. And we just loved his drawings. And when episode 110 came into production, we gave him the assignment of designing Jet and the whole gang of freedom fighters.
We're not letting you out of our sight.
And this is the first time we see Toph with her lie detecting ability.
Yes, this
her
is
heartbeat.
The idea that she sees with vibration, so she can sense. She's kind of like a polygraph. She can sense a change, and if everything's quiet enough and she's concentrating, she can sense a change in someone's heartbeat,
We missed it.
kind of biorhythms.
That big thing yesterday.
Here comes old Sweepy.
Yeah.
This is a reoccurring theme in Tim's scripts.
Tim is great at writing old men.
Old blowhards.
The old men.
They don't use, like, instead of the army, they're like, army makes the stuff here. You know, just they jump right into the sentence.
Could be the meat would be good.
Yeah, I think he comes straight from New Palestine, Indiana. I think those are my roots expressing themselves on film here.
Very far. Here it is. It's near the South Pole. Almost
And also,
all the way back.
Whaletail Island was named after that
Just to get to the tip of the
specific island on the map, right?
That's
You
right.
guys were looking at it.
It looked like a whale tail.
Although no one in the Avatar world would know that. Like, with
Must
the,
be nice to
Well,
Whales, right?
you know,
Yeah.
avatars have been flying around for years.
I guess somebody made that map and saw it.
Yeah.
shuffle
They
on.
probably have
No more need for
bison whales. I don't know. Something.
No, they've got whales. I take it back. They would know.
All right, let's get moving. I'll come with you.
We don't need your help.
Why won't you trust me?
Gee, I wonder. Was this guy your boyfriend or something? What? No. I can tell you're lying.
Toph paying off her power with a joke
Yeah.
right away. I love that.
Don't worry. On the way back, we'll be flying. We're finally leaving Ba Sing Se. Worst city ever.
That's a great comment on some character on a show that our city is the worst.
I don't.
We were so worried. How did you get away from the Dai Li?
I think that was what was kind of cool about Ba Sing Se is like we had set it up as this like Shangri-La, great place that you know the kids really wanted to get to, and all their problems would be solved once they got there. And they get there and they discover this crazy conspiracy and like just dark underside to the Earth Kingdom, which
Just
cool.
Just continuing the line of disappointments that our characters get all the time. It never works out for these guys.
But that goes along with, you know, we tend not to play people like just good versus evil.
Yeah.
You know, it's the multifaceted nature of politics.
Yeah. Well, the great thing about Ba Sing
Society.
Se is that's how they see themselves, is this Shangri-La, this perfect
Yeah.
society, and everything's on total lockdown. But they just can't keep a lid on the war anymore.
Yeah, this sequence came out really cool.
Blue Spirit's back.
There you see a nice detail of how the Dai Li can remotely control these little stone hands like a puppet master.
You don't want to end
I just like the idea that Zuko is in his apartment stitching up this little Blue Spirit stuffed mask. He's pretty good with the
It's
crafts.
quite a seamstress.
He found one backstage at an opera.
Where do they take you?
That's it, because the Blue Spirit mask is an opera,
what you're talking about.
Chinese opera mask for like a
Find a way to jog
wizard.
memories.
Maybe Katara can kiss him. That should bring something back.
Maybe you should kiss him.
See a little Aang jealousy here.
Dad would.
For the shippers.
He doesn't like that.
No, wait, I got it.
It's a good
Yeah,
time.
now we get into the whole brainwashing of Jet.
Great sound design by Ben Wynn there when
Think of something
Sokka sticks the
emotions.
hay into his mouth.
Remember what they
Yeah, he did some great stuff here when Jet goes into his
picture it.
kind of tripped out mind thing here. It's kind of surreal sound design and stuff, which is really cool.
We see a little,
Oh right, this was the big moment where we reveal the Rough Rhinos were behind the destruction of Jet's town when he was a kid.
the idea was that the Rough Rhinos sort of were the group that would go in first before the army would come, and they would sort of raise the village and set it on fire and just kind of cause mayhem.
In addition to their singing performances, which they
Of course,
do on the road.
Yeah.
They usually sing first, then raise the villages.
They took me to a headquarters under the water, like a lake. Wait, remember what Judy said? She said she went on vacation to Lake Laogai.
We were talking before that Laogai means prison in Chinese, and so it's essentially prison lake.
Little on the nose.
Yeah, it's going to take some of the surprise out of for the fans and the Asian.
So where's the secret headquarters? Under the water, I think.
There's a tunnel right there near the shore.
Toph always handy for some underground sight.
Yeah.
So I was really happy with a lot of the background designs and paintings for this kind of catacomb-like space. I have a really cool book that shows empty spaces in Paris, and they have these like catacomb sewer systems that look a lot like these. So we use those as inspiration. This is one of my favorite sequences in Avatar.
It's kind of Stepford Wives-esque scene where they're all being brainwashed.
I think there might be a
Judy factory.
Yeah, there are plenty of Judys to go around.
So here we see the phosphorescent crystals that we normally use. We kept them kind of a cool color and keep it creepy.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite like kind of cuts too that we've done in the show. Just the mislead of you think it's the kids, oh, it's the blue spirit.
Yeah, and this is how long has Appa been gone now? For like
He's been
6
gone,
episodes.
yeah.
It's the end of 10. This is a great
Now that's something new.
sequence. This action sequence was storyboarded by Joaquim Dos Santos, who later became a director on Avatar after Lauren left. One of my favorite action
Yeah,
sequences.
it's definitely a challenge, I think, to board multiple people fighting and keep it clear as to what's going on. You know, if you have one-on-one, it's difficult, but it's I think much harder to keep track of a bunch of different characters all fighting at the same time. There's some great moments of seeing the Dai Li grabbing people and creating these rock pillars and running up the walls and all this stuff. It's very, very exciting.
This shot's one of my favorites right here. The symmetry of Toph taking out those two guys.
Yeah, and the great idea that Toph can't see the fists always flying
Right.
at her, you know,
Yeah.
because they're flying through the air. Some excellent hook sword action.
Yeah, she knows the line of action. She can feel someone strike at her, but yeah, it might be hard for her to time the fist in the air. This room came out really well.
All right, Avatar, you've caused
Clancy Brown, fantastic voice actor, does Long Feng.
You do have Appa. Tell me where he is.
Agree to exit the city now, and I'll waive all charges against you and allow you to leave with your lost pet.
You're in no position to bargain.
Am I not?
And now Jet turned into the ultimate weapon.
The Earth King has invited you to Lake Laogai.
Cool little sound design there on the word Laogai. Little echoes.
I love that animation of Appa is like some of the best because you just really feel his weight and like how big he is in the.
Very cool.
This is difficult to do in TV sometimes.
This is Uncle just drops kind of the ultimate Uncle speech on Zuko here to just kind of break him.
He's a great one. Very emotional. Usually Uncle stays kind of calm, but every once in a while,
Yeah, he can't keep it in anymore.
like 120 when he's like yelling at Zhao. You know, I really like when
You never think these things
he
through.
gets excited.
This is
You know he's serious.
When you capture the Avatar at the North
Great acting by Mako, who unfortunately passed away last year.
Figure something out. No!
Did just a great job bringing Uncle to life.
You were frozen to death.
I know my own destiny, Uncle.
Zuko's teen angst and stubbornness. He knows these things. He just doesn't want to let them through. He's hung up on his ego.
I have to do this.
I'm begging you, Prince Zuko.
Really wants his father's approval, even though he's kind of torn what he thinks about his father.
Ask yourself the big questions.
It makes you think that maybe if Zuko had a pet like Appa to love, that he would have been softened
Maybe.
as a child.
I think they've scientifically proven that having pets
It's very therapeutic.
is very therapeutic.
You don't have to do this.
I'm afraid he no longer has a choice.
I really like just the tragedy of, you know, what happens to Jet here. Where
Jet's internal battle.
it's just like, you know, he doesn't want to be doing this, but
Look inside your heart.
Do your duty,
This is a
Jet.
great little sequence that Mike and Jeff Adams, the editor,
He can't make you do
pulled
this.
together.
You're a freedom
This little
fighter.
flashback.
times with guitar.
Oh, man. This sequence got scripted, I think, like 10 to 12 different times.
You're right, it did. I mean, we could talk about originally. Maybe we shouldn't, but there was a different version we had.
There are many different ways.
I like how it came out.
Yeah, no, I think this is definitely the best way, and it makes Longfang
Chosen your own demise.
very villainous.
I'm sorry.
I'm happy with the storyboarding sequence too. I think it really came together.
And this is Toph's big lie detector payoff coming up.
She sees through Jet's heroic downplay of his predicament.
You guys go and find Appa. We'll take care of Jet. We're not gonna leave you.
There's no time. Just go. We'll take care of him.
It's the first time.
Long shot speaks.
Yep. First and last time. We'll be fine.
So many people are wondering, why didn't Katara use the spirit water at this point?
That's a great question.
It's a good thing she didn't, because
She was saving it.
I think she tested it. She tested the water. She knew she couldn't help him.
Spirit water is for series regulars only.
Well, it's also, I think we determined that spirit water, you gotta have some sort of spiritual connection to the spirit world or something like that.
I think it's that Aang was the Avatar.
Yeah.
Had she used it on a normal person, it probably wouldn't have worked.
I think it was
just the fact
just
that,
be like regular water.
Yeah, the fact that Aang was the
But could
Avatar.
she have used it for Zuko plastic surgery?
You know, but the idea behind that is it wouldn't change the look of the scar.
By the way, I did some ADR on this part, so
Oh,
you
did
actually
you?
hear me and John O'Brien yelling as
Oh, you guys one
That's
of the
Dai Li
diegees
Yang.
getting
Yeah,
thrown off?
yeah,
Wow.
That's a great shot there. By
see if
Chris
you can
Graham.
pick out which one's me.
Here's the big moment everyone's been waiting for.
Oh.
Woohoo!
I'm tearing up even
Appa
now.
came back. Yeah, after we kind of messed with the audience a few times, where you think Appa's gonna come back and then he doesn't. And
That was you.
Yeah, that was us right there.
Got it.
so I think this is very, very satisfying.
Long Fang
Reuniting.
gets his comeuppance.
Yeah,
That's a great
I
shot.
can handle you by myself.
Telephoto. So you see Longfang did start to earthbend there, but Appa intercepted him. I like how quiet it is
He
when he
skips
skips across the
yeah,
water.
it's very peaceful. Like maybe Appa would just be doing that on a sunny day by himself, just skipping people across the pond.
So Longfang's foot is not inside that shoe, it's just the shoe. Yeah. That's a sweet moment.
Oh.
And then Katara is mourning here.
they're all family again.
Zuko at this crossroads.
But I like this little tag. I think in the animatic we didn't have this little end scene and we added
Yeah.
it afterwards because I think it wasn't totally clear that if we knew if
What
Zuko
happened.
was the one who freed.
Because
Appa
if
or
you
not.
showed it, then that gave away the surprise of
Yeah,
Appa showing up.
but I love that last shot
The
too.
blue spirit is he
blue
gone
spirit.
for good?
Yeah, pretty much. All right. Once again, we want to thank everyone who's worked really hard on this show to make it awesome. Thanks, Tim, for an awesome script.
Hey,
on
thanks
this
for
one.
having me, man.
Once
It was a
again.
lot of fun.
Thanks for that yell in the end of the episode. I think that was the...
It kind of sealed the deal, didn't
Yeah,
it?
did.
It was a dramatic juice that
I
this
think-
episode needed.
Because you wrote that guy's yell.
Yeah.
So something about writing it and then voicing it.
In the script said parentheses, yells in all caps in parentheses. And I got
But
to
you knew his motivation, I think.
I did. He was scared.
Synergy.
See you next time.